Thanks. Hi, guys. Okay, this is the part of the show where you're going to hear a bunch of bad jokes. All right, like the fact that I was going to be a stand-up comedian. Looked down at my legs, realized I couldn't hack it. Thought maybe I should get into sitcoms instead. All right, I'm gonna quit while I'm on a roll. All right, that's as good as it gets. All right, I know it's been a long day. All right, so we're all adults here. I only have, I think, 3 slides. Okay. I'm not an attorney. I don't play one on TV, and I didn't sleep at a Holiday Inn last night. All right. I've been with the university 18 years, administering Title I on the staff side, and I am system wide pretty much. Just IUPY, the Indianapolis campus, is recently becoming more and more mine. Under my responsibilities. That's the word I was looking for. But I've had all of the other campuses, including Bloomington, which is where my office is, since I started there in '99. A little bit of what I'm going to tell you is a repeat from what Kathy said. I was teasing Kathy earlier, telling her that she stole some of my material. Obviously, it's not my material. But what we're looking at here is there are 3 prongs under which a person could be protected from discrimination in regards to employment, employment as a person with a disability, or a record of a disability. This can come into effect particularly if you or the department knows that someone has been off for a medical reason. Let's say someone is recovering from let's say a heart attack, and they were returned, but with no restrictions. But you decide, you're going to be the good person and not give them the rigorous stuff that you would normally give them, even though they were returned with no restrictions. Then you could be responsible for that if they suffered a negative job impact because of that. The other thing is regarded as disabled. The example I always use for this is, let's say that you have an employee who is a part of who has a same-sex domestic partner. I believe I'm using the PC terms there correctly. My point being, let's say that the partner is HIV positive. If that individual doesn't receive a promotion or whatever because his partner is HIV positive, everybody thought he was HIV positive, that's regarded as being regarded as an individual with a disability. Okay, so there's 3 prongs there. Person with a disability, person who has a condition that substantially limits a major life activity, major bodily function. Okay. 2, record of a disability. Okay. Person has a condition. Could be in the past. Cancer is a big one for this. Someone who had cancer. Okay. What is cancer? Cancer is abnormal cell growth. Normal cell growth is a bodily function. Imagine that. Regarded as disabled. All right. I hope I'm using the right button here. No, I'm not. There we go. There we go. Here's the thing. When we're talking about employment and discrimination in employment, we're talking about all areas of employment. Okay? We're talking about the application selection process. We're talking about being considered for promotions. We're talking about evaluations, training, benefits. What we're talking about here, if you think about it, if you exclude someone simply because of a disability from any of that, it's wrong. It's against the law. Okay? And I'm trying to go quickly because I know of the time. Okay? If you have any questions, please feel free to say, hey, I don't understand that, or raise your hand or something. Okay? basically what we're talking about here in regards to application selection process, an example of that would be, let's say you have someone who needs to take a typing test, okay? And, well, they can't see the thing that you want them to type because of a visual impairment. Well, if you don't let, if you at that point, you need to make some sort of an accommodation. You know, make the text larger, have someone dictate what you want them to write, to type into a recording, that kind of thing. This is just off the top of my head because we've made both of those accommodations, okay, at the university. Promotion. If they were up for a promotion, and the only reason they didn't get that promotion is because they were out because of cancer. Wrong. Can't do that. Okay. Evaluation. This is one that is, it's real easy to make a mistake with. You know, let's say the person was out on FMLA. Well, FMLA can't be used against them. So it can't be used against them in evaluation either. Okay? A lot of people with disabilities go out on FMLA. Not all, of course. You know, you can go out on FMLA for a bad tooth. Okay? As someone who's gone out on FMLA for bad teeth. I had to get it. Oh, it was painful. Anyway, training. You have to order the same. You have to offer the same training you would for anybody else, and that may mean, you know, providing that training at an accessible facility. It may mean providing a sign language interpreter during that training. I mean, it can mean any. That's the nice thing about accommodations, is that it is. There are so many different ways to do the same thing. Let's say we're talking about someone who can't hear. Well, you could look at an interpreter. You could look at closed caption. You know, have someone who is a court stenographer type up what the person's saying on a screen. So the person who is hearing impaired, deaf, can read what the person's saying. That kind of thing. If it's a video that you want people to watch, have it closed captioned. Again, these are just things off the top of my head. Okay? Benefits. Again, you cannot discriminate against someone in regards to benefits. Okay? They have the same rights and benefits that anybody else has to employment. The example that I always use here is, let's say there's a break room. That break room is down a flight of steps. Well, you need to provide that individual, let's say the person is a wheelchair user, you need to provide them with a break area as well. They need to have access to the same type of facility. Okay? Questions? I'm shooting through this kind of fast. Like I said, I know we've been here, and it's kind of chilly in here for me. So, okay, reasonable accommodation. Some things to think about. Cost. I know this is on everybody's mind. Well, I've been, as I said, in my current position at IU for 18 years, and I can tell you that of all the accommodations that we've made, I think we've had two on the staff side that have cost about $500 maybe. Most cost less than $100. I mean, very low. The thing is you have to get creative. Okay? Because you can look at things such as job restructuring. Job restructuring can mean having someone do something in a different order. Let's say someone is better or more attentive in the early morning. Okay? So you have them do the more mentally rigorous things in the morning. I don't know. Again, this is off the top of my head. It really depends on the situation. Let's say that person, something that we've done at the university, we provide our non-exempt employees with a lunch and two 15-minute breaks. Well, let's say that individual has to take meds or they have some other condition. And so what we've done at the university in some situations is we've allowed that employee to take the lunch, but instead of two 15-minute breaks, take three 10-minute breaks. Same work needs to get done, the same amount of time in breaks, just restructured. Okay, all it really takes is thinking about how do we do this? Why do we do it this way? Is there another way to do it? Okay. Work with human resources. You guys are not human resource professionals, correct? Right on. So you get them both then, don't you? All right. Well, I'm available. Fepperso. It's my last name and my first initial, but without the N. So it's Fepperso. Fepperso at iu.edu. If I can ever help you, let me know. Sure. But work with this lady, since she's HR. Now I'm in HR, and I tell you, you don't have to go it alone. That's the whole point of HR, human resources. Human resources. I think those are my 3 slides, because like I said, I wanted to come up here. Yeah, hey, looky there.
I'm curious, how much contact do you have with your human resource department, Kathy Gross? Every day? Okay.
And it never hurts to say, hey, it looks like you're having a little bit, am I moving that thing? Yes. I'm sorry. All right. It never hurts to say, hey, I notice you're having a little problem here. What can I do to help? Okay. With signing into law the Americans with Disabilities Act Amendments Act, Title I is all I do, okay, employment. That's what I do. I've worked in employment even before IU with people with disabilities, okay? But there is still a process that you should go through to look at, to see whether the individual is an individual with a disability, okay? But the focus has shifted from, is this person a person with a disability, to what can we do to make this person a success? In HR, that's what we want. We want the employee to be a success, don't we? I mean, you want everybody to be a success. Yeah, exactly. You have something that needs to get done. They need a job. I'm blocking things. Anyway, yeah, and that's what I love about Title I of the ADA, because it's about thinking about, okay, how can we make things work? How can everybody be a success? That's what it's about.